Hello everyone, my name is Isabella Susilawati. I'm an excellent Power BI enthusiast with decades of business experience. This week's video is dedicated to a very special person in my life who recently taught me a new Power BI trick. How to set up Power BI files so that it can be linked to all files in a given folder. The first part of this video will cover simple situation when all the files in the folder are identical, same sheet's name and same number of columns. And then in part 2 of this video, I will show you how to deal with situations when we have different sheets name in the file that we want to consolidate. In part 3, I will show you how to handle situations if one of the files have different columns. What if we want our Power BI report to reference all the files in the folder instead of one file at a time? How do we do that? Very simple. Just go and set up a new Power BI report, and then instead of clicking Excel workbook, click Get Data, and then hit More, and then hit Folder, and then click Connect, and then it will prompt you to put in the folder location. In my case, it's here. If you don't know where yours is, just click Browse and select it, and then hit OK. And then after that, provided that your files are exactly the same, i.e. same columns, same sheet's name, then all you need to do is hit Combine, like that. And then click Combine and Load. And then just click Sheets 1 so it can preview it, and then hit OK. And then just wait. And then watch this. Excel data appear, and then click the data view so that you can see how many rows of data. And look at this. There is source name, which is telling us where are this information from. So this is from February file, from January file, and from March file. So everything is flowing already. When April data becomes available, all we need to do is file the file in the same folder, and then go to Power BI. And all we need to do is go to the Home button and then hit refresh. And watch this. Voila! April data just flows. Isn't that nice? One small caveat, this method will only work if all of your monthly files are identical. The files need to have the same column name and same sheet's name. For example, watch this. This is sheet 1 for April. And then in March, it's also sheets 1, also 3 columns. And everything look identical, as you can see. Now, the moment your files are not identical, for example, if instead of sheets 1, let's call this sheet 2 over here. And then I'm going to close the file and save, obviously. When we refresh the file, we get an error because April file has different sheets. So how do we fix this? Hit Close and then hit Transform Data, and Power Query Editor will appear, and then go up to this Transform Sample file. So click that Queries, and then go to the right in the Applied Steps and hit Navigation. And to fix this query, it's quite simple. Just delete item sheet 1, including the comma. Hit delete like that, and then click the tick button. Oh, sorry, deleted too much. We need to have open bracket, kind equal to sheets, close bracket, and then hit Apply and Close. And that's it. All fixed. Now, what if your April file has different columns? For example, there is an additional column for NPS. And then I'm going to save this and then close the file. And then let's go to Power BI and let's hit refresh. Look at that. It just flows nicely. We get lucky. Additional columns does not always flow into Power BI. It will only flow if the columns get added into your sample file. What do I mean? When you click Transform Data and Power Query Editor appear, click this sample file on the left, and you'll see that April is currently being used by Power BI as the sample file when consolidating all the information. Therefore, any additional column that we add in the April files will just flow nicely into our data. However, if there are changes in February file or January or a subsequent file in the future, such as May and June, it will not just flow nicely. That's the caveat. For example, I've added 2 more columns, NPS and test, into February file. Let's close it, and then let's go to Power BI, and then hit refresh, and just watch this. NPS flows, but the test column is not flowing. Why is that? Because, as I mentioned earlier, when you hit transform data and look at the sample file, the sample file was April, it wasn't February, so things will not just flow. In conclusion, to keep things simple, we need to ensure that firstly, the files that we want to consolidate are filed in one folder. Secondly, the file should ideally have the same sheet's name. If not, special modification to Power Query script will be required. And thirdly, the files must have the same structure, i.e. the same number of columns. If it is not possible, then a more complex situation will be required. And there is a YouTube video that I would like to recommend created by Bas from How to Power BI channel. I will leave the link in the video description below. See you next time!